Hello everyone, this is Debbie from Ink and Page, and I am here today with a new chapter of our Ephemera Stash Journal. This is chapter 3, and today we're going to be working on like a whole hodgepodge of different things. We've got labels, postcards, pockets of all sizes and kinds, as well as a bunch of pockets and stuff, envelopes and stuff to put in our actual journals as storage options. I'm going to show you the ephemera in just a second. At first, I wanted just to thank all of you guys for the amazing positive feedback that I've got on this project. It has been unbelievable, like unbelievable. I know I've said this before, but like a lot of times you're making these things and you're kind of just by yourself and you just don't know if anybody's going to like it. And to put something out in the world and like have people be so just in love with it is just, it's amazing. I really wanted to create a project that we could all do together, that would be useful, that we could, use throughout, the year actually, not just Junk Journal July, but throughout the year. And like, I don't know, your enthusiasm has exceeded my wildest dreams, and it like kind of fuels my muse when it comes to this kind of stuff. So I just want to express my appreciation for that. And then also, if I always forget to do this in the beginning, so I'm going to do it now. If you're enjoying this video, please like it. It really helps like get the video out to more people, so that more people can do the project. So that is lovely. And if you want to subscribe, because we have great stuff coming up. We have Ink and Shadow coming up in June, which is going to be a journal project. And then another Junk Journal July, which will utilize some of the stuff that we're making today in. Okay, I'm very sorry about all of the talking ahead of the video. Oh, and if you want to join in on the project, you can subscribe at a link in the description below. It's right at the top there, and it'll say, click here to sign up and get the printables for this project. Okay, so let's start with the papers for this project, so you guys can get just a quick view of what you're looking at in terms of like what's going to be going on the back. What are you going to have to make other pieces of ephemera out of if you want to. So here's some papers. This is a real nice neutral, kind of very chill floral pattern, right? It's not super flowery, but it's still got a subtle, femininity to it. So there's that. I'm going to have another half stripe, half damask one here. I like these for the back, because the back of the ephemera is always a surprise when you have a paper like this. This lovely little tile pattern here. This grungy floral. And then this really faded flourishy pattern here, also really good for the backs of things. A tiny little floral. And I did like a paper bag one. I know I did a parchment one, but I wanted to like cover all the bases when it comes to like neutral backgrounds, because these are the kinds of things that, you can print again and again and again and again and just use for all kinds of different stuff. So this is like a paper bag. And then I did another collage one here for you guys. This is also really, really, really good on the backgrounds of stuff, because you just get a little piece of the design on it and it just looks cool. It's very patchworky, and I don't know, I like how these come out on the back. And they're also really good for using as journal pages, or you could use this as a master board. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the ephemera really, really quick before we jump into the actual making, because this kit has a lot for you guys to do in it. I wanted to show you this page like this, instead of just being like, oh, there's these in here, so you can know what it looks like. I made a page of these. There's a lot of labels on here. I don't even know how many. In 2 sizes. So there's the longer, bigger ones, and these little ones, which I think are going to be tremendously handy. In fact, I may do another sheet of these, but next week what I'm going to do is a similar thing to this, but with words instead. So you'll have both options. So some things like this particular took quite a while to do, so that's why I did not do the words one this week. So I'm just kind of just spreading my work out like evenly across the month. But it was extremely fun to make. And so I hope you'll enjoy it. I think these are going to be really handy when making little clusters and things like that. The other thing these are the two tiny things. There's a page of these round labels as well. I have not cut mine out yet. I'm going to use a round punch on mine. I have a 1-inch Fiskars, like, squeeze punch to do these with. There's all kinds of different punches available that are 1 inch, and they would be excellent for punching these out, much easier on the hands. So I just wanted to mention these two sheets in particular because they have a lot on them, and they're probably going to take you a few minutes to cut out. I will say this week took me probably twice as long as it usually does to cut my ephemera, so I am very sorry about that. But I think the rewards you're going to reap in the future will probably be worth it, because we'll just have these ready to go and we won't have to worry about, cutting all these little things out. Okay, so in addition to that, there's also a page of these kind of labels. So there's a lot of blank ones. I thought these would be really good for like foundations, for clusters, for just attaching to pages, for stamping on, for, you can add those numbers and layers and stuff. You could even write on these if you want. So there's this size, and there's this size as well. This size, I thought, I'll show you in a second when we make our envelopes for today's projects. This would be also good for labeling our envelopes on this size here. There is a selection of tabs in 3 different styles. And then there's also 2-inch labels. So there's 2 pages of 2-inch labels, and they're in kind of 2 different styles. Like, one is a more text-based stuff, and then one is more like randomly decorative stuff, like advertisements and stuff like that. So that's on there, on those. And then you have a bunch of ledgers, like these mini ledger pages. So I thought these would also be good for clusters as well. And then like a large, these kind of squarish, I say square-ish because they're not quite square, but they're quite close. So you have a bunch of different labels like this as well. And then there's a whole selection of pockets in here too. There's this kind that's like kind of the like arched. I did mostly corner pockets because these can just go onto any page. And like, I hope this is in frame here. These can go onto any page. They're not like sized to fit anything. So you could even put these on a tag. There's big ones and small ones, and you can also flip them over and use the back as well if you print on the back. So you can have, twice the options for pockets there. And then there are also these angled pockets, which are my favorite pockets in the world. These just also, same deal, go right on the corner. So you have those in there as well. And then you also have these kind here, which is a smaller version of ones we've already used in this journal. And also we're going to be using some of these like as functional pockets in the journal today. You're going to need, before I jump on, you're going to need, there's also a set of tickets in there, some bigger ones here. You're going to need one of these pockets, these large ones from week 1 for today. So just to give you like a quick heads up here. That's where this pocket came from, because there were extra pockets in the first week. So we're going to use this one here this week. All right, so I'm sorry about all that talking, and now we'll just hop right into this. Okay. Oh yeah, and there are little, I did a whole set of postcards as well, and these are just little journal cards that are all different themes. They're extremely random, but I just thought it'd be nice to have a bunch of different pieces, because these you can even tear up and use into layer stuff as well. Okay, so that's a quick very quick overview of what you're going to find in the kit. Hopefully the cutting will not be too bad. Okay, so for today, we're going to be working on the second signature. And just so you know, next week we'll do this signature, and we'll also, this signature, we're also going to do this one as well next week. This one is going to be like your, basically for overflow and for whatever you want to put in it, like personally. If you have extra leftover ephemera from other projects or whatever that you want to put in this as well, that can go in here too. I'm going to try to make space for just about everything. I also am going to do, for next week, I have a whole list of stuff that still needs to be done, including envelopes. I'm going to do little spools too, so that we can put like ribbons in here as well. And I'll do the words, like I said, and more journal cards. I have a whole list of stuff. So some of that will go in, like, we're going to be doing, like, a couple bigger items next week. So we'll need some space in this signature and this signature. And then I'll try to also leave, like, a whole section for you guys to just put whatever you want to put in here. I have so many things planned. So anyway, I won't go into too much detail, but... So today what we're going to be doing is putting 3 envelopes down the front of this here. And then in here, we're going to be putting all small pockets as well as flaps. And then on the back, we're going to put our big pocket, and this big pocket's going to hold our like actual like bigger pockets, if that makes sense. Okay, so I'm going to get started on that. So the first thing we're going to do here is assemble all of our pockets, which there are a number of, and I'm just going to go through them really quickly here and do that. I pre-taped these pockets because they're good for tape. Some pockets aren't good for tape. These pockets that we're about to do a bunch of are not good for tape. They're better for glue. So I'll do that. And also, I don't think I did a very good job explaining about the glue press that I used in the last video. This is from My Sweet Petunia. It is their precision glue press, and I got it at scrapbook.com. I will remember to link it in the description below. Because if you have any hand pain, this is quite excellent for that. And I have to say, there is nothing better than having your glue on your desk ready to go at any moment. That's like the best benefit I found of this so far. Like, I can just grab it anytime. Like before, like I have my glue in a little bin. I have like all my different glues next to my desk, right? But like you're messing around with a pin. I'm always losing the pin, stuff like that. So this, I think it's gonna be a game changer. I think it was like $35. But if you check scrapbook.com on a regular, they sometimes have like a percentage off, and I'm pretty sure that I got it on a good day. I can't remember what the sale was for. It might have been for like National Scrapbook Day or week or month or something when I actually got it. So yeah, so that was, I feel like that it's turning out to be hugely beneficial for me. Like, I don't know about you guys, sometimes my thumbs just get super sore because I'm constantly crafting and also constantly on the computer. So, like my hands are getting a workout every single day. Not to mention the normal things that like we just always do with, hands are involved in everything you do. So these are the 3 envelopes for the front. They all match, so it'll be really easy to figure out what's what here. And these are going to be attached to the actual journal, and we'll be able to slide our little cards in them for storage. Okay, so these envelopes, which we're going to glue into the actual journal here, fit these. cards here. And these are mini journaling cards. This is in all my kits. So any mini journaling card from any kit will fit in here. I used all my standard like sizes for ephemera in this kit, like my slash pockets, they're my standard sizes. So like hopefully it'll be as interchangeable and modular as possible. Like sometimes there's some variation. I'm printing borderless, so you know it could distort the size a little bit, but as long as all of your printing is relative, you should be fine. So whatever settings you have, just print everything on the same settings. Okay, so these guys are all done. So we can put these into the journal here. I'm going to put these on this page here. And certainly if you want to mix up your signatures, if you want to put this signature here or in this third signature, you know, go for it. Whatever like feels the best to you and for your own workflow, I think you should definitely go for that. So we're just going to spread these out. I'm going to angle these kind of more in towards the spine here, and just kind of figure out what I want here. And then I will put this one in first, I think. Okay, I just wanted to double check my folding and gluing there. Pickle is providing us with some ASMR here. I'm going to put tape on here. Get that in there. Alright, I'm going to take this off. And the other thing, if you want to print more than one of these, like sheets of these pockets, you can do that and then just put them like wherever you want. In your journal, like if you want to have more, I'm just going to add a little extra glue on here. Just so that I have double adhesion. For that, grab this guy. I know there was some discussion in the comments of this video, which I absolutely am on board with, about like making more than one of these and making them thematic, you know what I mean, to like different themes. I mean, because it is hard to pre-make a lot of ephemera for journals because a lot of times, you know, you're very specific themes. But I will cover this in a future video about like how can we make this ephemera customizable. So like how can we make it so that it goes like with, let's say we're going to make a journal for the archivist, you know, which is like a lot of dark colors. So like, how can we utilize some of this ephemera in that journal? So I'll take that on in a different video, just to kind of explore what are our options for making things look a little bit different or making them fit better with the theme of the actual journal that we're making. I think a lot of times, like with these journals or with my kits in general, like I try to keep like an aesthetic that's like similar, even if the theme is vastly different. So you're gonna get something that you can customize and work together. So like, but I think that'll be fun to take like a bunch of different freebies. I have a bunch of leftover ephemera from like our recent projects. So I'm just going to take that and then we'll try to like customize this ephemera to match those kits, because I have like a bunch sitting on my desk right now. And I was actually going to go through some of it and see if I can kind of fit it into here in terms of like things that I didn't use for some projects that I really wanted to use. So maybe I can get it into a different journal. Or sometimes you just want to make something. You could just sit down with this book and just make something. You could do like cards, or you could make clusters. Or the other day I just like sat here, I was having a rough day, and punched like a whole bunch of different shapes and stuff, which I'm gonna include, you know, in here as well. So I'll have all kinds of different pieces and stuff to layer with. All right, so let's try putting these in here. I know I didn't really let this dry for very long, but I really kind of want to try the whole deal here, because I think this will be really fun to have these here. Let's put some different ones in too. Like I got this map here. Get those in there. So yeah, so you can load this up with all of the ones that you want in here. Wait, I'm gonna put this one in here because I want to put all my postcards in there. Oops. Let me get that guy in there. So yeah, so you can just load this guy up and fill it up with the ones that you want to have in here, or other ones that you like better, or you can cut like your own. You could just use this as a template and cut, you know, cut them out your own. So that goes like in there like that. So now let's go ahead and put in our flaps. We're going to put 2 flaps in here. So we have these here that are going to go in here like this, and then they'll open out. So they're going to serve 2 purposes. This is, see, you already found how fat that is already. It's a good thing I didn't put more pages in here. So this will serve 2 purposes. One, to kind of hold this, you know, keep this page down and together. And then also we're going to have extra storage in these. So I'm going to go ahead and, I already taped these. So these are just going to be a really quick install in terms of like, boom, we're going to do that. And then we're just going to stick this down. So I just want to do this right on the edge here. Or if you want to inset it, you can. But because we're going to put pockets on this page, I want to kind of get this all the way to the edge here. So then that goes in there. And okay, so let's grab this guy here, and we're going to pop that on the other side. And I'm just going to line this up with the edge here. And then just put that on there. I got all my tabs. I'm knocking all my stuff over here. I'm gonna put this out there. All right, so now we have this like this. Okay, so the one quick thing I'm gonna do here is I just have some washi tape, and I just want to run this over the edge here. And you don't have to do this. Certainly, this is like completely optional. I just want to run it over the edge of this just to kind of smooth it out and smooth it over. It probably would have been better if I had I gotten some decorative washi tape, but this was just like right next to me. So I thought it would work fine for this little process here like that. So that Tim Holtz tape would be really nice right here too, but here. So I just have that just there, just as a little extra insurance policy on my flaps. Okay, so let's do, okay, so these have pockets for these as well. And now these pockets can go on the outside or the inside. It's completely up to you. I'm going to put mine on the outside. So that I can put the ephemera in those, and then we'll have smaller pockets to put in on the inside. We're going to layer a whole lot of pockets in here right now. So, all right, so I'm going to start here, and I'm going to go with this side first. And I'm just going to do my glue on there, on the edge. Pickle's having a good sleep. And I'm just going to do that right there. And then put this right here on the edge of this one. And I just want to make sure that lines up with the edge there. And then I'm not gluing anything together that shouldn't be glued together. You know, because I'm a professional at accidentally gluing stuff together. So, okay, so there's that. And now we're going to do this side for this one. So glue on here. Oops. There. Okay, now this guy's going to go on here. Like that. Just make sure that goes all the way along the edge there. Okay, now, and there's also these pockets. Now, it could be a little bit confusing. I made extras of these so that you would have some to use later if you wanted. But I thought these would be good to stick like on the front here. And then to stick one like on the inside here as well. Okay, so there's 6 total pockets in the kit. So you just need to pick 4 of them to use. And then you'll have 2 extras for another time. So those can be part of your ephemera stash, basically. Okay, so let's go ahead and just glue these guys on there. First one is going to go on here. I'm going to get my fingers all gluey. And just kind of, I just inset it just slightly. So that it would be kind of centered on there. Okay. All right, so now we just get our next one, and see, I just grabbed a pocket. I didn't really look at them. I think that might be a nice one to put there, since that kind of goes with that. Okay. So, oops, get that there. And then we're just going to stick this down right here. Alright, and then I'm going to open this guy up. And go put these guys in here. This is pretty quick, I hope. Once you have everything all cut, folded, scored, taped, and all that, it goes by pretty quickly. So we put that one on there. And you can always like flip these guys inside out if you want to have different, you know, a different pattern or whatever on there. Just depending on whatever you printed on the back. I like things to be like all different patterns, but like if you want things to be the same, that's a good way to get them to be the same. And you can always draft print, you know, on the back so that you're not wasting too much ink. I know ink is always like a big concern. And my kits tend to be inky. Alright, let's see here. Let's see if I can get this on here okay. I don't really have like a super flat surface for this one. You could put your pockets, all these pockets on beforehand, I guess, too, if you wanted to. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to set that aside for like 1 minute here and let that dry. And then what we're going to do is we are going to work on the pockets, not the pockets, the envelopes that all of our little pieces of ephemera are going to go in here. So there's a whole bunch of these. So I think the process, oops, I grabbed some of these by accident. The process should go pretty quickly. So we should have 8 of these total. And I did try to print these as usual as possible. I lost it near the end and used a pattern. But the same thing too, if you wanted it, you could just do this inside out. This is the like collage page. I love how it looks. On the back, it looks pretty cool. Okay, so I'm gonna glue these guys all together. I have a lot of glue on my hands. Okay, so let's go ahead and start. Okay, so hopefully this will be pretty quick. We're going to do a whole bunch of these. Like I'm going to do 8 of them all in a row here. And, you know, just like, hopefully assembly line this right down. And I have a little paperweight situation over here. So I can put that right on there. And then that will do a job for me while I'm gluing the next one. Okay, now we got this one. Alright, push that in. Give this guy his own little paperweight. Okay, next one. See, right down the line here. We're already 2 down. And there we go. And another one down. Like I said, I did put neutral like papers mostly on the outside of these because I thought it would be best. Like I know there's a lot of patterns and stuff going on in this journal, which is part of the fun, right? But I just wanted to make it not be too crazy. Oops, my fold looks like it's a little bit off there. Another friend there. Okay. Just keep going down the line. If you have any overage on your flaps, I have overage on like a couple of mine because my folds are not perfect, which they will be. Alright, I'm going to re-glue this here. There we go. can join his little buddies here. Yep. Let's fold this guy over. Okay, that's my last one. Oops. Okay, I'm going to move these guys as a unit over here. And grab these, which are the pockets for these envelopes. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put these in here. So let's see here. You want to air towards, or not air, I guess air might not be the right word, but you want to skew towards the bottom here so that you have enough room. I'm going to grab one of these guys just for the, because you want to make sure that when you put this in, it's going to fit, if that makes sense. So he's going to go right into this envelope here like this. And you want to make sure that it's not going to be like this. It's going to be like this. And you'll have your other one like below it. So I'm going to go ahead and put my first two in here on the bottom. Actually, I might go right across, like with 4. And let's see what I've got here. Go with these two on the bottom on this side. All right, let's see what we got here. I think that will be good. Hopefully I didn't put that too close to my spine there. It should be fine. It is going to be a tight squeeze to get everything in, but it should fit. And you don't really need the space between the pockets so much so in a journal like this, because we want to have maximum storage here. There we go. Okay, those two are on there. These are going to be, sometimes, this is kind of a bumpy surface here. All right, I'm just going to go right across the bottom here with my other ones. That's my pocket. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay, so I'm just going to go right across the bottom, and then I'll do the top row. This also kind of helps make our like flap more secure. Whoops. So I'm gonna, yep. Okay, now this guy. I'll put this guy right next to that one. Make sure I'm not into my crease there. And that's good. Alright, let's do a little test here. I don't want to pull on these too much because sometimes the tape can be like easy to pull up until there's a chance, but that should be pretty good in there. Okay. I did think, and I didn't when I was printing it, I should have thought about this. These might have been better in a slightly lighter weight. I printed everything in cardstock, which I'm sorry, I forgot to say at the beginning. I printed everything on 110-pound Hammermill cardstock. I was thinking ahead of time, though, that I should have printed the envelopes maybe in paper. Just kind of depending on I can probably go up a little bit higher here. You could also skip the envelopes, I guess, if you wanted to just put your stuff right in there. But I thought with all these little pieces, it might be better to have, you know, a way to secure them. But like some of the bigger pieces, like the tickets, for example, could go in these pockets with like no envelope. And it'll stay in there fine. But like trying to fish these little guys out would be just, it would be rough. So... okay, all right, so let's line these guys up, and I need to borrow another one of these guys over here. Perfect. Sorry about that. I'm working on just my desk today, so. Okay, and then we got this one here. Alright, let's go with this one here. We're just gonna put it right next door just to make it easier. Perfect. I wonder if these could just go in. Oops, I pulled that up. You gotta wait a second with tape. But those could just go right in there if you wanted, or they could go in the envelope. It's up to you. All right, so let's put these guys in as well. And I feel like I hope I'm not going too slow. All right. Okay, just line this one up with this one. Just give it a little tiny bit of room from the spine. I feel like that could be better. And now we're on our last pocket. There we go. Very nice, very nice. Okay, so now that I have these here, oh, I want to make sure I don't, is that okay? Yeah, okay. Okay, so now I need to load my pockets up with all the stuff we have here. So we have a bunch of different things. Oh, wait. Oh, we still have to put one more pocket on the back here. Okay, it's like Pocket City here. Alright. If you have like the time for the glue to dry, I would definitely glue the pockets in as opposed to just taping them in like I did, because I feel like sometimes the tape can't hold up to the like constant like usage, you know what I mean? So if you find that the tape doesn't hold as well after like some time has passed, you can always just shore it up with some glue. You know, sometimes it depends on the tape. Like I always buy the same kind of tape, but I find that it's not always consistent. Like sometimes it's like you couldn't get it off if you wanted to, and the other times it just peels right off. So, alright, so I got that guy on there. And what I want this big pocket for generally is for these crisscross pockets, because, or, well, I guess they're like really like slash pockets, but they're slant pockets. But like they're just, this is the only place they're really gonna fit in here is this one in here. These guys should fit like in here, in these pockets right here. And then we also needed a place for these to go, so they can go right in here as well. And then we have our little pockets. Now, if you want to label your pockets, it's probably a decent idea. These can just go right on to the front here, and then you can just write on here whatever is in the pocket. Okay, so let's see here. What do I want to do here? I want to get, oh yeah, we also needed a home for these guys here. So we're going to go ahead and open this up and put these in here. So if you have any artist trading cards, this is approximately the size of an artist trading card as well. So that can go in there too. And I will do like belly bands and washi strips and stuff like that for next week. So there's still plenty, we still have plenty of room for storage in here. So I don't think it's a big issue, but they could easily fit in one of these larger pockets as well. Okay, so let's load some of these guys up. I'm going to put my tickets in just straight up. I did, like, the tickets are all different. I try to vary the style. If you want smaller tickets, just go ahead and print these like 2 to a page, and or print, you can adjust the percentage size too in like your printer settings, so that you're printing like at 75% if you want them 75%, you know what I mean? Okay, so let's do some of these envelopes here. I'm gonna put my, oh, okay, so we have all different, we have our tabs. I really want to make sure the tiny stuff goes in the envelopes. These probably would be just as easy to get out like this. Let's see here. I messed up my piles a little bit. All right, let me get my little guys because I'm going to put them all in this envelope here. And then when I need like a little bit of wordage, I can just pop this guy, or actually these are numberage if I need numbers. And numbers always look like pretty cute on just about anything. These guys. Hopefully I'm getting all of them. Just make sure there's none under there. Okay. And I can close that guy. Pop him right in there. Okay, let's see. What do we got next here? Okay, let's do the larger ones. And then any leftover envelopes that you have, you can just go ahead and tuck in your pockets. And you'll have those for future usage. So it's kind of like a double duty situation. Or you can put envelopes in every single one of your pockets if you want. Alright, so let's put this guy in here. These are the like longer number labels. Let's put in there. I'm gonna have to write on my labels what I'm putting in here as well. There we go. Okay, these are generally intended for labeling these guys. There are some extra ones though. So I'm going to stick these in here for right now because I'm going to come back and label these. But I'm also going to do, I have my circles and my tabs left. Looks like here. I think I'm going to put all my circles in here. Like I said, there's like a bunch of, you know, some of these are patterned, and then some of them are like this. So hopefully, like a wide range of use there for that. Okay, and then tabs. I'm going to have to use one of my other pockets for. So look, I may have to like do another. This is getting quite fat. Right, and then I have my extra envelopes too, so I want to split these guys up. I think because these kind of tabs are different. Just go right in there. And then we'll put these tabs in this envelope. For this one. Now, I split my tickets across 2 pockets, but you could just use 1 pocket for your tickets and then do this. It kind of is basically how do you, like, what's your personal preference in terms of, like, how do you want to arrange this, you know? So it could go either way. Like the circles, I spread those across 2 pockets too because, see, this one's coming up. I'm going to have to glue that down, but that'll be fine. And then I have my extra envelopes. And I can just tuck those in my pockets here. Let's see. I should probably organize it so that one side's pockets and one side's the cards, but you know, I'm going to put these pockets in with the other pockets too. Alright. Actually, I can put these over here. There we go. Yeah, that's definitely going to need some glue on there. Alright. I'm going to stick those in there for right now. But now you have a whole lot of, like, there's a lot of ephemera packed in here. So you have a whole bunch of stuff to create with. And a whole bunch of stuff to cut out too, unfortunately. So I hope you guys find this very useful and helpful in terms of like your storage. I'm actually thinking like having 2 signatures that look like this would be fantastic. So that's definitely something I'm going to keep in mind down the line, especially since I'm thinking about making another one of these for just all of my like theme out my ephemera, you know, in terms of like purple, you know, all the different colors, because I have like, you know, some color schemes going. So yeah, I think this would be great to have like just like this like page of pockets that are just have, you can put all your ephemera in as well. So anyway, I digress. I keep going off on a tangent. I'm sorry. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope you find this ephemera useful. If you have any thoughts, comments, ideas, suggestions, whatever, you can definitely put those in the comments below. I do have a bunch more stuff planned for next week. I really wish we had another week to work on this, but that's the way it goes, I guess. So we're going to finish this up next week, and we'll just be doing more pockets, more ephemera, and more fun. So please like the video and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys very soon in the next video. Thank you so much for joining me.